Hey, so in this video, we're going to cover a couple different topics. I went to the second ward meeting for the city of Evanston to talk about some issues in the West Village. And I also filmed some Dodge Avenue bike lane footage, and we'll talk about that, as well as a new restaurant that may be going in here at the corner of Dempster and Dodge.
It's for the high school kids. They're going to flood it.
Oh, they will flood it, yeah.
They're going to flood it.
That's a good point, yeah.
People understand, no, it's about Northwestern High School. They don't care about the residents.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's true. Good point. Tonight I am heading to Robert Crown, riding down Church Street. I am splitting 5th and 2nd Ward. This is Dodge. This is one of the city's first, I hesitate to say protected bike lane because, you know, look at it. But this is the first block. And in front of the high school, you kind of have the least amount of protection. And really, you don't get much protection until you actually get to where I'm going. And you can see there's a lot of debris in this lane. This one's always pretty filthy. And then it gets real congested up here at Dempster. We've got McDonald's, Starbucks, Burger King. We're going actually tonight because we're talking about a proposed Popeyes, and the neighborhood really doesn't want more fast food. I will say, for as kind of low quality as this lane is, the data doesn't lie. There's been a drastic reduction in any kind of crashes on this street since they put this in. And that's the point. I think the next step is to deal with the stress level of riding so that people aren't intimidated by it. Nice. So it's a kind of a toss-up. Either it's hard to cross the street here, but you can easily get into the back of Robert Crown, or you go up to the crosswalk at the light, but then there's nowhere to ride because you're on the sidewalk or it's a busy street, and not really one I want to be doing any vehicular cycling on right now. So maybe what I'll do is I'll loop around here with the cross signal. So, you know, this isn't good for bikes. That's just a pedestrian access. And my bike racks are right on the other side of these hills. Okay, so we're back here where I wanted to cross before, which I can do, but I feel like the idea is to get a stress-free all access for kids and families and anybody. Having them cross at a non-marked crosswalk is not the best. But it saves you on a bike from having to deal with the parking lot or riding on the sidewalk. Because I can just come right in here. Now we're at Crown. And I'll ride right to the bike parking. Mindful, of course, of anybody walking, because I'm not an idiot.
Of course, there are idiots on all modes of transportation, bikes and pedestrians alike, but especially drivers.
Hello. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
If only meetings passed that quick in real life. But it was a good turnout. Seats filled up. We had an update from the Evanston Police Department and an update from City Manager Luke Stowe. Then we started talking about Popeyes, and there's some drama about that issue that I'm not going to talk about here, but it's worth looking into. I'm going to talk more about the West Village community and then circle back to the bike lanes on Dodge.
So this is the vacant building that used to be a, I think, Middle Eastern or Mediterranean grocery store. And my agenda is from the transportation and alternate transportation side of things so that we're not just relying on cars. Fast food stuff aside. And as you can see, there's already a lot going on here at this intersection. And the valid concerns raised up at that board meeting were about delivery drivers, you know, Uber Eats people, that sort of thing. You know, people for this therapy center that's next door is afraid that this parking lot which I guess they share, or I'm not sure which parking lot is theirs. There was concern expressed about overflow from that tiny parking lot for this group here, Heartwood, which is like a health, massage, and physical therapy, and I'm not sure what other services they offer. So this is the Heartwood lot. You know, it's a busy street, and I think putting in another kind of quick in and out, they're talking about online delivery, or not online delivery, but online order. You know, you go through the app, run in, pick up your chicken and go. I think some serious reconsiderations of what this corner looks like for pedestrians, for bikes, because, you know, the high school is just down there. Let's ride over down into this neighborhood, because the folks from the Heartwood are describing trying to preserve the character of the business district here. I don't think I want to go on Dempster. I'll stay on the sidewalk. We're only going to go around the block and cut into the side streets, because this is a really cool area. So this is the West Village. You can see there's old storefronts with residential on top. Stuff you can't build anymore unless they actually change the zoning code again, which they're trying to do. It's just a really nice, locally invested area. Everybody really wants to see things thrive, and they want to see the money and the investments come from Evanston and stay in Evanston. I am concerned by a trend of rent in Evanston being so expensive, property value is so expensive, that the only people that can afford to come in are these large, big moneyed interest franchises and corporations. Popeyes, to me, doesn't feel like it really fits with the character of this, you know, really diverse and health conscious and civic minded kind of community. It's a lot of working class people. It's a lot of diverse range of all types of incomes, backgrounds. It's Evanston. I think it's actually kind of amusing that the guy came to the meeting and said, "Oh, I've never encountered this kind of a process before." And I was like, "This is a public meeting." You're trying to put in a business that's in a, you know, community is vocalized plenty of times. I'm just gonna go around you.
Sorry, I got distracted by a few of these cars here hogging a lot of the road. But what I was saying was this area, the 2nd and 5th wards, are very aware of the housing and economic and health disparities that have resulted from the redlining area and earlier, and are very interested in correcting these problems, not continuing them. So that's a ride around the West Village from about Asbury to Dodge and Greenleaf to Dempster, and also looking at the south end of the Dodge protected bike lanes. No matter what you think about these issues, you know, it's really important to get involved. Talk to your council member, go to ward meetings, meet your neighbors, join a local community organization. There's a lot of groups doing a lot of good things with all of these issues. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and ride your bikes.